The Battle of Fatehpur was a key episode in the dissolution of the Samma Dynasty of Sindh and its replacement by the Arghun dynasty. In 1799, the conflict between the Samma Dynasty of Sindh and the Arghuns led to the Battle of Fatehpur. History. Some Mughals had come to Sindh in the reign of Jam Feroz and settled there with the authorization of the Jam. Among them were Kabik Arghun, who had left Shah Beg's party due to a murder. Most of these Mughals, mainly of tribes like Dalasha and Nagahi tribes, had been enlisted in his service by Jam Feroz, who entertained some doubts against loyalty of Dayu Khan and wanted to secure some fearless men to work against him when required. It was at the information and invitation of Qasim Kabaka that Shah Beg marched against Thatta with a large army about the close of 914 Shah Beg's victory of Thatta. Shah Beg came to Fatehpur and Ganjaba to make warlike preparations by collecting and arranging troops. He left some chiefs in charge of those places, posted his own brother at Siwi, and sent Mir Fazil Kokal Tash with 240 horses as an advance party. The Samma army of Sindh, on passing through the district of Baban, was joined at Talti, about 6 or 7 miles from Sawan, by Dayu Khan's sons Mahmud Khan and Motan Khan. On the arrival of Shah Beg at the village of Baban, the chief men of the place hastened to pay their respects to him, which encouraged him to advance towards Thatta. Passing through the Laki hills, became within about 6 miles of Thatta southwards, where he halted and encamped on the bank of the Kanwa. In those days the Indus River flowed to the south of Thatta, and so he had to make arrangements to cross it. The spies soon found a native wayfarer who, on pressure put upon him, pointed out the place where the river was fordable. It was on the 15th of Muharram 926 that Shah Beg rode into the river and led his whole force across, having left a party of soldiers to protect the camp at the river. Dayu Khan, supreme commander, left his master Jam Feroz at the capital city and himself advanced with a large army and gave battle to the Arghuns. A severe battle was fought, which ended in the victory of Shah Beg Arghun. Jam Feroz, hearing of the defeat of his army, fled across the river. Dayu Khan was killed in the battle. Up to the 20th of the same month the Arghuns plundered the city. Several women and children of respectable families were captured. Even the family of Jam Feroz remained in the city. It was at the intercession of Qazi Kazan, the most learned man of the time at Thatta, whose family members also had been taken prisoners, that Shah Beg stopped the plunder by giving an arrow to the Qazi to show it round to the plundering Mughals. A proclamation was also issued to that effect, and once more there was order and quiet in the city. Flight of Jam Feroz. Jam Feroz, with a few persons, was tarrying in the village of Pera, anxious to get some information about his own and his father's family, to protect whom, however, Shah Beg had the good sense to post a party of his men round the residence. Seeing no help for it, he was obliged to send messengers to Shah Beg, recognizing him as his superior and asking for mercy. Shah Beg sent back the messengers with presents and with promise of pardon on the Jam's surrender. Accordingly Jam Feroz, taking his brothers and kinsmen with him, issued from Pera to the bank of the river with a sword hanging round his neck as a mark of surrender. Shah Beg ordered the Jam's families to be taken across with due honor, and in the next month, Safar, Shah Beg encamped outside the city, where Jam Feroz came to pay homage to him in person. Shah Beg received him well and gave him the rich robe of honor that his own father Amir Zunun had received from King Muzaffar Hussain. Shah Beg was kind enough to give the governorship of Thatta to the Jam, but after some consultation with the chief men of the place it was resolved that his Sindh was a spacious country. Half of it might be given to Jam Feroz and the other half retained and left in charge of agents appointed by the Mughal prince. Accordingly the Laki rocky hills near Sawan were fixed as the boundary. The country from Laki down to Tata was to remain under Jamfaroz, and that upwards to the north to be retained by the agents of Shahbeg. After this settlement was made and ratified, Shahbeg left Tata and marched out on his return journey. Battle of Talti. The rapid march and victory at Thatta had left some of the chiefs at Sindh and the forces intact at Talti, where they had gathered to oppose the new conqueror of Sindh. Shahbeg received the homage of certain Sata and Soda chiefs. He then came to Sawan. He left Mir Alika Arghun, Sultan Mukimbagla Kibik Arghun and Ahmad Tarkan in charge of the place, and sent Sultan Mahmud Khan Kokal Tash to take charge of Bakka, and himself proceeded to Shal to bring his family. At the same time he deputed Qazi Kazan to bring Mahmud Khan and Motan Khan, two sons of Dayu Khan, to surrender. But the Qazi did not succeed in his mission. Mahmud Khan and Motan Khan and Jam Saram and Rinmal Sodo were ready to submit, but Makdum Bilal, a learned man of the place, persuaded them to resist Arghuns in defense. Shahbeg was therefore obliged to come to Talti. Shahbeg secured some boats and crossed the river with his army, with Mir Fazil Kokal Tash and the Arghun and Tarkan forces. He surprised the advance guards of Samma resistance comprising Sodas. As Rinmal with his brother Jodo advanced to meet them, Mir Fazil attacked them and defeated them. The fort of Talti was taken. Most of the Samma troops were cut down, some drowned themselves in the river and a few fled to Sawan. Rinmal Sodo's brother Jodo was also among the slain. Jam Salahuddin's second invasion of Thatta. After spending 3 days at Talti, Shahbeg returned to Shal and Siwi, and Jamfaroz began to rule quietly at Thatta as before. But it was not long before Jam Salahuddin, who had some time ago revolted against Jamfaroz and driven him away from his capital, and had subsequently been himself driven away by Dayu Khan to Gujarat, once more invaded Thatta with an army of 10,000 men, consisting chiefly of Harathas and Sodakangas. Jamfaroz, without losing time, hastened to Shahbeg's agents at Sawan and through them sent them fleet messengers to Shahbeg for help. The latter dispatched his son Mirza Shah Hassan with a column of muffles for the purpose, and sent some more forces after him, by successive installments. Shahbeg's son Shah Hassan comes to Jamfaroz's help. On the 14th of Muharram 927 Mirza Shah Hassan left Shal for Sindh, and after 20 days' journey arrived in the vicinity of Tata. Salahuddin, hearing of the Muful's approach, left Tata, recrossed the river and betook himself to the village of Jun. Jamfaroz received Mirza Shah Hassan gratefully and in return received marks of distinction and friendship from him. Salahuddin was soon pursued and overtaken. A fight ensued between the advance columns of the two parties, one led by Haibat Ali Khan, Salahuddin's son, who was son-in-law to Sultan Muzaffar of Gujarat, and another by Mirza Isa Tarkan, Sultan Kuliburg and Mir Alika. Salahuddin's son was killed and his army routed. Mad with rage at his son's death, Salahuddin precipitated himself upon the Mufuls, but soon he too was slain and his army fled to Gujarat. After spending 3 days at the scene of the battle, Jamfaroz went back to Tata to settle affairs there, and Mirza Shah Hassan returned to Baban to pay his respects to his father, who had come to that place. Here during the stay, the Maki tribes, who had become rather turbulent and refractory, were punished, the cattle and property plundered and the villages razed to the grounds.